when we started creating this, we felt like we could provide good search that was affordable. There's so many other options out there. They're either free and don't have the features, or they have the features and they're frankly really expensive.
Very
we
expensive.
wanted to make it, yeah, we wanted to make it affordable for a store owner who doesn't have, billions of dollars to spend to come up with something that will help them sell more stuff and make more money, because that's what it comes down to. I mean, search is cool and exciting for the geeks in us. Most of you, just what do you care about? You care about, can people find stuff? Can they buy stuff so you can make more money?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go into the dashboard, but before I do that, I wanted to sort of show real quick here just a couple little examples of layouts so people can see that there are choices. Now, this is not matched to any particular store. This is really sort of our demo one that we use for playing with. But so you can see it's got filtering on the side in this case. It's got, in this case, pagination, item standard stuff. I mean, this is all pretty much stuff you expect. But we have two different layouts that we will help you decide what to do when you install in the store. And so this is one of them, and this is the vertical with the vertical filters here. But we also have a horizontal, which can work well if you don't have as much space. Let's say you have a left nav you need to leave on the page. This horizontal version will fit in that because it'll put the filtering right up here on top, so people can still have the same controls, but it fits layout-wise a little better. So this is all something that we review when we install in your store, so we can find out what works best in your store, so we can style it, we can make it look good, and obviously we'll tweak it, make it work well.
Awesome.
So going into it, I don't want to bury you all, okay? I don't want to bury you in all the technical details, but I'm going to try to go through so you can have an idea of some of the information and some of the capabilities that are built into it. And I will start this out by saying, first off, when we set this up, all these settings you see in here, we will work with you and we will set them up for you. They're not things that you have to go in and do yourself. We're not going to give you an IKEA direction book and say, here, put together your search. Scott, I've tried to do those. My wife is not happy when I come home with those, so we're not going to do that to you.
Don, I live 10 minutes away from an IKEA, and it's my second favorite place next to Target. So there's a lot of stuff in here that requires assembly required in my place.
Yeah, well,
and we all know how difficult it is.
Yeah, so we're going to set up for you, and we're here for you if you need something down the road. You decide you need a change. A lot of these things you can do yourself, but you can also contact us. We're glad to help you out, and that's key. So when you log into your Search Magic dashboard, this is our little site here. So it doesn't have a lot of searches, but you can see the total number of searches and the total number of instant searches that are done. A regular search is where they type in the box, they hit enter, or they hit the search button, and it goes to the search page. An instant search is where when you type something, in fact, I'll pull up our site, type in a word, and things pop up. So as they type, and that's the key to understand. So you can understand why instant searches will always have more. It's because every time you're typing a key, something's popping up. So you can run these in the reports in the dashboard here. We also give you what are some of the key things to know. Zero result terms. Those are things someone searched for that had no results in your store. It's really good information for a store owner to watch these, whether it be using our search or any search, so they can know, are there things that I should be offering, or are they searching for things that I have that they could not find? And so we'll go over some of the synonyms and redirects as we go through the dashboard, so you can go, you know what, we have something that would solve that. Put something in there so next time they don't get zero results, they get something.
Right.
You also show the one result entries, which you can also do similar with, but most key is these zero result terms. And then obviously most popular searches, you can see what are people looking for on your site, and you can, once again, you can pick a date range and pick out a date and say, what did they search for me last week? Here's what they searched for last week. We also are working on a tight integration with Google Analytics. So a lot of this information will be available inside your Google Analytics as well, but we wanted to give it to you here too. Moving on. So next tab is your store settings. Honestly, you're going to almost never touch this because it's the basics of your store. The one spot I will mention that we do have this capability in here is there's this field for don't track the following IPs. What that is let's say you use your search in your store to find stuff while you are doing stuff through your daily work. You don't want those results showing up in your analytics. You don't want it to show that because you searched for one item 25 times today, you don't want to get reports that say that a customer searched for it 25 times. So you could put in your IP addresses of your computers or your network, and then those will not get monitored. So that way you only see what the customer is really looking for. So it's a good
Yeah,
setting to
and
know
Don,
about.
yeah, that's important for store owners because I know a lot of them who take phone orders and they're doing it by just, going up to the search bar. Hey, I don't have item numbers, but I know what this is, blah, blah, blah. They type it in their search and they're taking the order over the phone for their customer and, using the search for that and then completing the order for the customer over the phone. And if you have all these searches all day long going on, you're going to skew your search number. So being able to restrict your IP address for the folks in your office, or if you're a one-man band and you're at home doing this, that's really important so that you don't skew your search numbers.
Yeah, I think it's very important because once again, if you come up with these zero results, things like this, and you're trying to now do redirects for something that you were searching for,
Yep.
that's honestly, you wasted your time.
Yep.
So the next tab, okay, I'm going to warn you before I even go there, which is in this field search settings. Before I even go there, it's overwhelming. Once again, we will set this up for you. You do not need to touch it. I'm going to briefly touch what it's for, but I want to tell you that before I even go there, because bam, it's got a bunch of stuff on here.
But you know what's great about this though, Don? There's so much stuff there, which really goes to show just how customizable search magic is when you're looking at all this stuff, which the store owner really doesn't have to worry about, like you said, because we're going to set it up. But just going through here, there's just so much stuff that could be customized.
Yeah, and basically what this is, the field settings, is basically all the fields of data that we've gotten from your store. We extract every piece of data we can get out of it, and then we figure out which ones make sense to throw in here. But then you can go through and you can tell it, I want to display this field, I want to search by this field, I want to make this sortable, all these things that you want to do with that data. So you can have a field, you can go, you know what, I don't want people to, when they're searching, don't search that field. That's for my own notes. Or I definitely want it to search this one, or that type of stuff. And you can go in and set it, and you can go into details on it, and I can look at this, and I can say in here, all kinds of information as to what do I include in it, how do I, do I include it for sorting, filtering, what does my data in this field look like? Here's some examples of the data in the field. So you can do a ton in here, but honestly, most store owners, you won't touch it much. We'll help you set it up at the beginning, but just know that you've got that control, which is very, very key. And I'll move on to the display settings. Once again, this is another one where after this we get to the more fun stuff. This is more of the basic settings of your search, whether you're showing filtering, whether you're putting non-item pages out there. We will automatically, by default, redirect. If someone searches and there's only one item in the results, we'll redirect to that page rather than showing a search result page with that one item. But you can turn that on and off.
Yeah, that's gonna save clicks right there.
Right, exactly. We allow you to upload an image. If you say don't have an image on a product, what will it have for the placeholder image? You can set the number of items per page. And then this one thing that I won't go into detail, but this is for your default sort. The default sort is based off of relevancy. It's based off of the data in your store. So it's looking at your product name, your description, all those fields that you've told it to search. And it ranks based on, they search for this word, where is that word, and how, and also there's also a it uses based on how common the word is. It's a whole lot of geek speak, but the key thing to know here is there are ways for us to set it up, and we can do it for you, and most will do this, but we can teach you how to do it. So you could do things like if someone searches for, an item in your store, you can tell it, hey, I want this brand to always get bumped to the top.
Mm-hmm.
One manufacturer for me is paying me to make sure his stuff shows up first. You can do that. You can do tweaks. You can do Halloween stuff. Go, we're near Halloween. I want anything with the word, Halloween to sort of scoot up to the top no matter what they're searching for. So you can do that kind of extra marketing, which allows you to sort of pump and promote the things you want to promote. And there's lots of controls on it. Like I said, I don't want to overwhelm, but you can pick any of these. You can set a rule for it, whether it's equal to something, not equal to it, and add a weight, and it can bump up and change that relevancy score. Does that make sense, Scott?
Yeah, that does. And when we were going through this the other day, there was a lot of different things that were popping in my head where this can be used for. And like you mentioned it, like if I have a manufacturer that I work with, and they're going to give me an extra spiff for pushing their products this month. Yeah, of course I'm going to go in there. I'm going to make sure that their products are showing up first when people are searching, so I can get my numbers up with them. So they're going to kick me back, some extra points off an invoice or something like that. Or another one I was thinking about, Don, I'm just continuing a line from a specific vendor and I want to blow whatever product that I have remaining from them out. I'm going to put their manufacturer name in there as well, so that, when people are searching, those items are coming up first. So maybe I could go through that inventory a lot quicker to get it out the door. But there's so many things you can do there with that. It's crazy, and it's so cool that you're able to do that with this product.
Yeah, and I would recommend for anyone using us, the first time you want to do it, reach out to us. We can show you how to do it. We've got articles on how to do this stuff. I don't want you to go in and be afraid, I'm going to do this, I'm going to break my search or whatever. And it's really hard to break, but we're glad to be here. We're glad to support it and help you find a way to market. Why? So you can sell more stuff, so you can make more money.
More money.
I'm going to keep saying that.
Yeah, keep saying it. And you know what, Don? Let's talk about that support again, because like I mentioned at the top of the webinar today, this is built by us, it's supported by us, and all the updates are done by us. This isn't some product that, we're white labeling, we're farming out support for. No, it's not. Don and the team here at Your Store Wizards built this product. And if you call, email, or whatever for support for it, you're dealing with our support team here at Your Store Wizards. It's not a third party, and it's not a white label product. This is our product made from scratch.
Yeah, and if you contact us, we will get back to you quickly. I'm not going to point fingers, name names or anything, but I've dealt with a lot of companies, a lot of developers that you contact them, and you're lucky if you hear something back that day or maybe in a couple days. No, we're on it. We are here for you. And I think anyone who's worked with us knows that. So I'm very proud of that fact.
Absolutely.
Now we get onto the fun stuff. The next two are actually sort of fun in the geeky way, but they're good because they're great for helping you market and get those products out there, help people find stuff. So the next one is your synonym list. And there's a lot you can do with this, but in simplest form, it's basically boiling down to you come up with a word, and then you can put in other combinations of words that mean the same thing. And there's different ways it can handle them, whether it combines them together. But so I can say, I got someone.
Pick a word. Let's pick a word. What's one that we have multiple spellings for all the time?
I think just about, honestly, I come up with so many words that, like, you sit there and you could go, oh, you know what, shirt. Oh, someone's typing fast and they type shrit. Okay, that's
or
never,
or they leave out the R, Don, or they leave out the R. Come on,
right? Well, that's just it. You could, I don't know if I should put that on the webinar, but that'll be on that blooper reel. But that's just it. I mean, let's say even in their example here, let's say you had T-shirt. You could have T-shirt. You could have T-shirt. You could have T-shirt. You could have all kinds of things that all mean the same thing. And so you can put them all in there, and the search will then know, hey, these all are the same friggin' thing. Here's how to handle it,
Yep.
I won't go into the types. There's ways whether it contracts or expands and whatnot. We can give you details on the logic on that. But pretty standard is this, so that you can get those combinations. So you don't have to worry about the 47 spellings of a word, or, someone doesn't know how to spell the brand and they spell it with a Y or an E at the end or things like this. And it's very easy to add those in, and they just automatically get handled. There's nothing, magical to them. And the nice thing is you can do it all yourself. You can go load it in here. My internet's going a little bit slow, but it's processing. I don't know what's
when we,
going on with my computer.
when we were talking the other day, one of the things that we said were gummy bears. I mean, how many ways do people spell gummy bears? Gummie, Gummie, Gummy. I mean, there's just so many ways, and this is a way for you to make sure that you're capturing each one of those searches by putting these synonyms in here.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with my internet here. This is not good. Something's slowing down here. Well, I'll keep going on. Redirects. This is the other thing I wanted to show was redirects. Redirects are where we can go in here and put in specific redirects based on specific search terms. So if I'm looking at this and I've got in here one redirect, I can go and add a new redirect. And I'll click it and hopefully my computer will move. Yeah, something is going on with my internet here. You can still hear me okay, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with my internet. My internet is freaking out here.
It's loading.
Okay, hold on one second. This isn't supposed to happen during a webinar, is it? This is live, right? So this is the way that the world works.
This is live, so this is where I would normally do my tap dance routine, but nobody wants to see that.
It's been going fine all morning, and all of a sudden it has come to a screeching halt.
But redirects are treated just like you would do a 301 redirect in the back end of your store for a missing page or something. So
right. So the idea is you can put in here, like I've got the screen up here, I can put up a label so I can give it a title. And so I can tell it, that I want to make this, we'll just call this test or whatever, I don't care. And then you can tell it a page that you want to redirect to, and you can put in the full URL, yourstorewizards.com. And then what you can do is you can tell it search terms that you want to have redirect. So if someone searches for, say, search, the word search, we can have that redirect to our Search Magic page. Or if they type in, canonical tags or canonical or any of these kind of combinations, we can have it go to a specific page or a specific section page. So that way you don't have to worry about a specific product. You can say, look, I know when they type in this, they want this. Yeah. And so you can send them there. And you've got logic you can put in here, whether it's an exact term or whether it contains that text, that type of stuff. So it makes a really powerful tool when you have things that this is where I want to send them. This is what they want to find. And so it makes a great option for that. And then we're almost done with the dashboard here. Once again, there's a lot we're adding, or a lot more coming. And the other thing that's really, to me, important is if there are features that you think would be useful to you as a store owner for marketing that would be helpful, let us know, because we've got a roadmap of all the things we want to add, but we are constantly working on what else can we add to this to help you sell more stuff,
sell more stuff, make more money. That's right.
That's what it boils down to.
At the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're here to make our store owners more money, more sales, and having a powerful search engine on your e-commerce store is just as important as ranking up there in Google, because you want your customers to be able to find products on your store in a fast and easy way, so they're not going to your competitors. I mean, how many times have we used that default search within the store, and you look at some of the results and you're like, why did that come up? And you're like, oh, I wish it would do this. And then you go to one of your competitors' store and you search for, a product that you may sell and they may sell, and you're like, wow, look at how their search works. And you're like, that is not the default search. So, having a powerful search engine is going to help increase sales, and it's especially that instant search. I know when I'm looking for something, Don, there's many times when I'm out there shopping where I'm just going right from that instant search rather than a whole search results page. I don't know about you, but that instant search is like, because I want to search the product, buy it quick, and get out. So that instant search, I think, is a huge thing with Search Magic, and great for getting conversions really quick.
Yeah, and it is huge. And the last little thing on the dashboard, so I can get this done, I can hand it back to you. is this display filters by search term. I won't go into details to a large part, but basically the concept is this. Your filters on the side or on the top, depending on your layout, show up based on the search results. So, if you search for something and all the products that come up have a shoe size on them, shoe size will come up as a filter. But let's say they put in some term that they don't care about. They're not searching for shoes, but some shoes may show up because of whatever data. You can set it so that certain filters will never show. So if I search for the word shirt, I don't care what products come up. If I have a shirt that has shoes on the top of it, and so for some reason it's got some option or something, you can have filters that don't show up. You can hide or display based on certain search terms. It's a not commonly used feature, but it's there in case you've got a lot of data that sort of overlaps, and so you might end up with some questionable filters because of your product data. So I won't go into depth on that one. That one's sort of an as needed on case by case basis, but it's here. It's an option.
There's just so many options within Search Magic. For the most part, when we set this up for you the first time, it's going to be a huge improvement to your store. And then as time goes on, if you want to look at these different options and get some more stuff going, or we come out with a new feature that you're like, I wonder how that would work on my store. I mean, talk to us, and we'll walk you through, enabling some of these more advanced things as the life of Search Magic on your store increases.
Yeah, and I think that to me has always been key to everything that we do. I mean, you've been in e-commerce now for coming on 25 years. I've been in it for 20 years, and as a store owner, I understand it because I've been a store owner as well. Once again, it comes down to that: sell more stuff, make more money.
Make more money. Yep.
But as a company, us, Your Store Wizards, the things that I am proud of, because it's my name on the door, even though it's not my name on the company, is we're here. We provide the support, the setup, and we are here to listen to our customers and help you guys operate and do better, sell more. And that's something I can go to sleep every night knowing we've done a good job by our customers, helping them realize their dreams and make their companies grow and support their families and their families and their employees and helping out their customers.
Yep. So Don, speaking of customers, so let's actually hear from a client, because I know that just by listening to us talk about this product isn't enough. So and she's probably going to kill me with this picture that I took off of her Facebook page for this slide. I asked a longtime customer of Search Magic to join us today, and she's also someone who's been an e-commerce store owner for quite a long time, just like us. Very active in the Yahoo store community, is familiar to many of you joining us today. I'd like to welcome Pam Maturola from BlairCandy.com. Hi, Pam.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Pam.
Hi, Dawn. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hello.
Pam. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy Halloween candy season. I know Halloween is in just a couple of days, so you're coming to the end of that. Talk a little bit about Search Magic with us today. For those of you who aren't familiar with Pam's company, Blair Candy has been around for more than 75 years as a family-owned candy distributor up in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And Pam, you've been on Yahoo Store now for about 20 years. 18, yeah. So almost 20 years. So congratulations on all that and all the accomplishments that you've made as a e-commerce store owner over the years. So I have to start by asking you this one question. And Don and Pam, you both can answer this. Tell me about that first phone call that you had with Don when he asked you about being a beta tester for Search Magic about two and a half years ago.
Well, actually, for like a little longer than that, I had been bugging Dawn because I was, I think, one of the first Yahoo stores to get a mobile website. And I jumped in and we had it done. Next thing I know, I realized that my search wasn't working correctly on, a mobile website. And I didn't realize, even though I was using a powerhouse search, which I'm not going to name names, but it's a very big one. But they weren't responsive yet. So I was telling Dawn, what am I going to do? We need to hack something to get this to work. And we switched us back to like the Yahoo one. That was no good. And then I found another company, and they, just like the other big company, said, well, for $4,000 more, we're going to turn ours into a responsive search, to fit the responsive. And I was driving Dawn absolutely crazy, because I know that my customers, I can't believe how much they search. They search for everything, and it's because a lot of it is a spelling problem. I mean, they're using these searches and we look and see what they have. I can't believe it. But so Dawn kept saying to me, oh, calm down. Don't worry. I think I'm working on something. Then I got a call one day and I'm like, oh my. And he says, let's go with it. And, I was used to a big powerhouse, and I say powerhouse, and I also want to say expensive. It was very expensive, and it had a million bells and whistles, and we were going back and forth. What are the normal bells and whistles that everybody needs to spell check? And then Dawn said about, well, look what you can do here. And this is an example that Scott tried to say, was about how I can promote a manufacturer on my search and make Hershey, if Hershey's doing something good for me, I can make sure they come up all the time. If I have a dead product and it's gone out of code, I can make sure it's coming up. But anyways, I worked with Dawn on it, and I was literally jumping around my office. And I think Dawn was too, because he had it with me, begging him.
I won't ever say that, Pam.
Is this true, Dawn?
I will never say that out loud near Pam.
Well, it's true. But so we love it now, and it has a lot of, I call them tricks, what we can do. And the price difference, you can't even compare. I've had the best.
Let's talk about that, because, one of the things that when we talked years ago, because I remember that conversation you and I had very, very well after your mobile site, or after your responsive site launched, and we're like, the search isn't responsive. What's going on? And you told me how much you were spending per month with, I almost said the name, which I don't want to. And then you told me how much they wanted to charge you to take their product and make it responsive. It was like you funding their development, which was absolutely insane for me to even consider at the time. And I told you, no. And how much were you spending on search prior to moving to Search Magic? And then I want you to tell me how much you are saving every year right now.
I was spending a year about $8,300, and that was 3 years ago. Just on search.
That was 3 years ago.
Yes. So and I thought that was the average.
We all know that prices don't go down over time; they go up. So I'm going to assume that number is over 10 grand right now. Easy.
Yes, if you have people searching, and which mine do, and I can't imagine somebody that's selling shirts or paddle boards or something. Everybody searches now. It's quick. They aren't scrolling; they're searching. And the more people that search, the more it was going to cost me. And I had enough. I had enough. My brothers were upset because I don't have a big markup on candy. So, I'm trying to justify this massive cost is what I felt. And I'm like, I kept saying to Dawn, how much is this going to cost? And I said, but what my main focus was on this was, well, wait a minute. I'm a firm believer in you get what you pay for. I could never moan about Yahoo search because I didn't pay for it.
It's free. Exactly. It's free. It works.
Why anybody moans is beyond me, because it's free. And it's like us passing out a candy bar when someone walks into one of our convenience stores and they say, oh, I didn't want that. I wanted a Snickers. It's like, well, this is free today. Anyways, it saved us right now. It's saving me $6,500, almost $7,000 a year. And right now I need it, because, and like everybody else, I don't know who's all on here. Everybody's looking at Amazon. Everybody's got all these added costs coming up. And if I wouldn't have switched back then, I would have to now, because I have other things to worry about. And I also don't have to worry about sending an email to somebody and get a response in 3 days. And I mean, if anybody knows me, if you get an email from me, it has a million misspelled words, but I try to answer everybody back right away. Boom, 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 boom. And I am so used to that from running my department. I can't wait 2-3 days for someone to get back to me. I feel it's unacceptable, only because I run myself ragged trying to appease everybody. And I
Trust me,
knew that
folks.
Dawn and them would you know listen to me. But I have other friends, I'm very close with Dawn, but I have other friends that aren't. And I mean, he's answering them back just as quick as me. So I needed somebody that was, I could trust. And we watched to see if it made any difference. Now, this is very important. We watched to see if my sales would go down
Mhm.
when we switched from the big powerhouse to this. We did not notice a single hiccup from my search. People were still searching the same way. I'm getting the same information that I was used to getting. Now I actually get a lot more information and can play a few tricks with it for 75, 80, 90% cheaper, you know.
Yeah,
So it was
and
a smart move.
I'll talk about costs in a little bit. But Pam, some of the features that you're using, I was poking around in the back admin of your Search Magic. I see that you're using the zero search term that Don was talking about before. So I saw one of the examples that you have in there. You sell a ton of nostalgic candy, and somebody may be looking for a candy, and I saw one of them in there that's not made anymore. So if they go in there and they're searching on your store for, I'm just going to make up a name, Sanfilippo's peanut clusters, and they're not made anymore. But you have one of those zero search term reports that you look at, and then you create a redirect. So when somebody is searching for Sanfilippo's peanut clusters,
Yep,
you're directing them to your nostalgic candy page where all of the nostalgic candy is, rather than sending them to a page that says no items found. I mean, how great is that?
it's great. It's a lot. You can do a lot of marketing, and I didn't even realize, the scope that I could do with this. And like I say, I call them little tricks that we can do. And it's so easy. Believe me, it's so easy. If you know me, I'm not technical. I don't want to be technical. And I just get in there, and the reports are great that I can see. And the reports, it's amazing. I'm really shocked at a lot of my customers. But yeah, we can do these little tricks. We have a good one going on right now. I use the word trick, and it's just like Scott said, when something has been discontinued. I don't want, and that customer bought from us, 20 times. I don't want to lose this customer. So I'll send them to a product that's almost like it, or I send them to like the nostalgic page.
Mm-hmm.
So that, hoping that, maybe they'll buy something else this time. And they
Yeah.
eventually will, because, it's not available anymore.